Ain't gonna have that.
Good evening, everyone.
I need to get you on the camera a little better, sweetie. There you go.
Happy Friday. Let us know where you're streaming from as you come in.
Let us know where y'all streaming from. Come on in. Okay, we look good. I thought the camera's a little too high, but we look good. That works, huh? I guess if you stand up, it's better.
No, we're good.
All right. Let us know where you're streaming from. Come on in. Port St. Lucie. All right. At home. I ain't mad at you. All right. Hey, Lawana, we got to holler at you.
Hello.
We have an idea. We might talk about it a little bit tonight. A little bit? No? Well, whatever. All right. Around the corner. All right. Come on in. Gigi, what's up? JR, what's up?
Hello. Welcome.
Phone vibrate. Let's thank you.
Welcome.
Honolulu. Ooh.
Love it.
We might have to come holler at you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so what time is it? 7:01.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome to Friday Night Live. My name is Jomo.
I'm Charmaine.
We come together Friday nights and we just try to be real, raw, and relevant in reference to relationships. Our whole goal is to help marriages, relationships, couples work out, grow, and to be the best they can be. Now, we don't know it all, but we know a lot. We've been married now 23 plus years, been together since 95. And we just try to give you information that may help you walk through this relationship lane.
Right.
All right. Tonight. Cousins Chronicles.
We normally do Cousins Chronicles. It's our everyday life, something that happened during the week, and we just share.
Okay. So my wife has been telling me for a minute now, maybe a year and a half.
Yes.
That, all I ask is for you to take me for a ride. So it hit me that maybe you should take it for a ride. So we went to, we did our regular routine. I said, listen, let's go for a ride. Get the kids in the car. Let's all bathe up. And we went to Clearwater Beach, had dinner on the beach, good music, and just chilled and drove around, look at houses, look at the sand, drive around, that kind of thing. And it was really cool, listening to some good music. And I realized how poorly I may listen. And what it is I have a certain expectation of what should be a good outing. And sometimes we will project what we think is a good outing on someone else. Because me just riding around may not be that entertaining, but it wasn't about me. Now, once we got into the process, it was enjoyable. And I think sometimes we just don't receive or listen like we should listen. But it was a great time. My kids even liked it. Josiah had a little 2 cents, but he always got his 2 cents to put in there. He said it was a great time, but the chicken fingers weren't as good and whatever, man. We had an enjoyable time. And I think sometimes we just have to simplify our relationships. Just go for a ride. I remember prior to looking for a house, man, the funnest thing ever was to go look at model homes. Man, that was so much fun. Go to model homes, dream, think about, aspire, go test drive a car, walk around the mall. My point to you is do something. You don't have to stay in the house all the time. And, it was refreshing. It was good. So praise the Lord for that. I listened. It seems as I think about the Cousins Chronicles, there's a lot of me not listening. But number two. This week, baby girl wasn't feeling good. And she was laying down and she hit me with this after she got it. It's like, Jomo, when I say I'm not feeling good, why don't you ask me how I'm feeling? And she's like, when you don't feel good, I kind of cater to you. And I thought about it. I said, she right. you know, I don't know why I don't do that well, but I received. I said, okay, you're right. And I don't know if it's a maternal instinct or what, but there's no excuse. So I'm not trying to make an excuse for why I'm not as caring when she is not feeling well. It's like something kicks in her that works that doesn't kick in me. Now, I received it because you know what? She says, it bothered me, but I never tell you. So here's the truth of it. When I thought about tonight's topic of manning up, manning up means that I will have space to receive what I don't want to receive. Meaning, not every time you get corrected does it feel good. Or sometimes someone just tells you the truth that they may have been holding back, but the reason they don't want to tell you is they're afraid that you can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
So I said, you know what? I received. I can do that better.
And it made me feel better to communicate what I hadn't been communicating. Instead of me going back in the room, feeling bad, and then being hurt silently, and just saying, I'm just going to let it go, and I'm just going to let God deal with him. Faith without works is dead. So, you can have faith for something, but if you're not actively doing something to correct whatever it is that you see that could be, corrected or could be better in your relationship, then you're not doing anything. You're not helping. You're not moving forward. You're pretty stagnant in that area if you're not going to address it. We always talk about addressing different things and having discernment as far as timing, how you say things, praying and asking God to give you the words so that your spouse could receive whatever you're trying to say in a loving way and not in a disrespectful way, I think is huge as well. But I'm thankful that Jomo received it when I told him, because I really wasn't feeling well when I told him that I normally don't even say anything. I just let it just go. But I was like, I'm not helping anything. And I kind of got, reprimanded by God when I was on my way back to the room having my little pity party. And he was like, how are you helping anything by just going back in the room and not saying anything? So I was just very thankful that it was received well and that I did speak up for myself, because a lot of times in relationships, we don't.
You have to be mindful that you will never change what you don't confront. Love just doesn't comfort. Love also confronts. And you have to have the capacity to speak the truth in love, but also to receive the truth in love.
Right.
And that's where you have to deepen your well to say, okay, can I handle correction? Because you'll never change what you don't talk about. And there's so many people married and miserable because you can't fix nothing, because you can't talk about nothing, because you walk on eggshells. We can't talk about that. We can't talk about this. We can't. Well, what's the point? Me personally, I can't do that. I would get a divorce. Really? Now, people say, no, for real. I personally, I'm not saying it's us, but I'm saying if we can't talk and we don't want to fix nothing, I ain't built that way. We got to work. I'm a worker. So let's work on this. Let's improve it. Let's get better. I don't want to settle for misery.
Right.
To me, that's not God. That's not something I'm accepting. Now, I understand people have different thought processes. And I'm not telling you to get divorced. I'm just saying, if we're not going to talk about this, if we're not going to work on this, I'm just going to sit here and be miserable, talk to the hand. Lord, how much it's going to cost? Let's go. Now, I say this because, well, it's not the best advice, but no, my opinion, I'm saying that if we don't want to work on it, it takes two.
It does take two to work on a marriage.
So if you don't want to work on our marriage, what are we supposed to do? I'm just going to sit here for the next 20 years being miserable and you don't want to work. And now I might be in a bad mood right now.
I would
I'm just-
say
I'm just saying
I would
that's-
say if
Ooh.
you feel like you're in that type of a situation right now, to make sure that you're not throwing rocks and you living in a glass house, make sure that you're doing everything that you can do in your relationship to correct the behavior. And I know it takes two, but make sure that you're doing everything you can do on your end before you say, "Oh, well, I'm just done."
No, and that's what I'm saying, because I was looking at some of our stream, and we have people who don't want to go. I don't want counseling. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to do this. I don't.
Right.
So
yeah.
so what? How
are we moving
moving forward? That today I'm good, tomorrow I'm crazy. Today I'm happy, tomorrow I'm sad.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying Jomo personally, I'm not telling you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying we have to find some normalcy to
Right.
where it's both mutually beneficial
Right.
and we can grow together.
Right.
Why would we just sit here and punish each other?
Right.
That's not God's best either. That's what I'm saying. My point to you is, why sit in misery and think you're glorifying God?
Keisha, I agree. It's not fair. Especially if you're doing everything you can do and the other person doesn't want to move forward, you are stuck.
Yeah, and I don't think that's God's best. Now, I'm not telling you to get a divorce.
Right.
I'm telling you how I feel, my temperament.
Right.
I don't have a good temperament.
I definitely say seek God.
Yeah,
Seek
absolutely.
God,
Absolutely.
because one thing we do know, God can change anything.
Correct.
So I would definitely seek God and make sure that you're doing everything that you can do.
And for me, I know, based on who I married, that she's a worker. Now, she works harder. She had worked harder on our marriage than I did initially. So I already know her mentality. We ride or die, and it's going to be die if I go. So I already know this. So, but I just want to make sure that we are all working and striving together. Amos 3:3 says, "How can two walk together unless they agree?" We have one vision for this home. And lastly, last Cousins Chronicle, my wife has been asking me for a while
Yes.
to do yoga with her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not afraid of yoga, you know what I'm saying? And I just, I didn't want to do it. But anyway, we have an instructor that helps us.
Yeah.
And this week, I decided
to join us.
Yes.
It was such a blessing because
I got motivation.
I know-
Kyle hooked me up. Kyle kind of got me inspired. I said, Kyle, dude, I'm going to do it. So
well, I appreciate that inspiration.
Yeah.
Because I
was
think
serious.
yoga is really good for anybody. I mean, flexibility is good at any age. And as we get older, and especially if you're an athlete and you work out a lot, stretching your muscles is really good.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'm glad you did. And Josiah has been doing it. Josiah and I have been doing it together. And
Tracy
we have
out.
a great time.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I like some of the poses where you have to keep your muscles still. I like that.
Shaking.
Yeah, that I can see the benefit to me and that. So
Right.
it was enjoyable. Here's what I'm saying. You
Together.
have to be willing to get in their lane.
Yes.
You have to be willing to stretch yourself and do some things that you don't really want to do. But what it is you're learning another aspect of them.
Right.
So it's a great thing. I loved it, enjoyed it. I'll do it again next time.
Praise the Lord. I love when we do stuff together as a family. So that's always a blessing to me because we're creating memories together.
I don't know if yoga can create memories, but
Yeah,
my
you
point,
are.
it was an enjoyable time. Praise the Lord. All right, so tonight, manna.
All right.
I started this morning. If y'all watched me this morning in reference to the Watching Mouth workbook, I started it
Mhm.
and it just popped off. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna stay in that lane. So Matthew 19:11, it reads this. But he said to them, not all men can accept this statement.
Come on.
What? Not all men can accept this statement, but only those to whom the capacity to receive it has been given. I'm gonna go slow. Not all men can accept this statement,
Mhm.
but only those to whom have the capacity to receive it. So now we have to ask ourselves, can I really receive the truth? Ooh, now,
how many of you all have ever heard the statement man up? Were you offended when you heard the statement man up to you? And I'm curious to know, what did you think it meant in your mind when somebody said man up? Because I've heard it said in a negative way, and I've heard it said in more of a motivating type of way. Have you ever heard it said in like a motivating type of way?
yeah, but most of it's disrespectful.
Really?
Yeah, man
When
up.
it's a-
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes when they're saying man up, it means that you're acting soft.
uh-huh.
Sometimes when they say man up, it means you're acting like a lady. Sometimes man up means you need to do this and do that. Okay.
And I've heard it said like in a way, like a guy saying it to guys, like we need to man up together and we need to, come together and do this, do that, like a motivation.
Yeah, and I can see that. I can see that. But most of the times in relationships, when a woman tells a man to man up,
It's disrespectful.
it's disrespectful because you're saying he is not exuding the qualities of a man. And that's you don't broke a brother down.
Right.
I want to read the Message Bible of the same verse, but verse 12 too.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus said, not everyone is mature enough to live a married life. So a married life takes maturity.
Right.
It requires a certain aptitude. This is Matthew 19, 11, 12 in the Message Bible. It requires a certain aptitude and grace.
Right.
Marriage isn't for everyone. Some from birth seemingly never give marriage a thought. Others never get asked or accepted. And some decide not to get married for kingdom reasons.
Yes.
But if you're capable growing into the largest of marriage, do it. So key aspect for me to live a married life, I have to be willing to grow.
Right.
Can't stay the same.
That's right.
I got to grow. Now, here's what I thought about. We say man up, man up, man up, man up, man up. What does it mean? It says this is a definition, a phrase meaning a guy isn't acting like a man or manning up, okay? There's a research study in Britain, YouGov report, 61% of Britain's young men feel pressured to man up as a result of damaging gender stereotypes. So, man up.
How do you exude that statement?
Okay.
I mean, I would feel a little pressure too. Like if somebody said woman up, yeah, I live it. Right?
Okay.
Isn't that what you would think? I live it.
Yeah. I am what I am.
Right.
Okay. Let's use Jesus as an example.
Okay.
Okay. John 3:16. So God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life, right?
Right.
So Christ going to the cross, I think, has to be the epitome of manning up. Love. Okay. So I would think the first ingredient in manning up is how I love you. Okay. So Jesus showed us what a man was by how he loved. He also says, you shall know them by how they love.
Right. Right.
So a man who's manning up will show his love.
Yes. This is really good for you to say too, because if you haven't had the conversation with your spouse, what does love mean to them? How do they show their love?
Okay.
Sometimes you can get this blurred in your relationship because what you think love looks like and what they think love looks like could be two different things. So if you have that conversation and they say, the way I love you is I go to work, I pay the bills, I kiss you when I come home, I spend quality time with you when I'm off from work, then you can identify them loving on you versus you comparing it to what you consider love is.
Well, I think it's a great point in what you're saying. Define love. What do you define love in your life, marriage, and how can I give you love based on that? So it's critical that we understand and have a clear understanding. Our neighbors cutting the grass.
Great.
What do you do?
I mean, yeah.
It is what it is. This is all is live. So identify what love is. Okay, so manning up to me, number one, is loving, expressing my love.
Right.
That's being a man. Now, the challenge is the world may give you a different definition.
Mm-hmm.
Because, see, in the world, expressing love is a feminine. But the Bible says, Jesus says, love. God says, love your wife. Love her. Right. Like Christ of the church. So that's something that I have to do. Number two. This is just jump. This is me. Communicate. The Bible says, speak the truth in love. There's too many quiet men. Mutes.
Do you think they're quiet because...
Now, let me clarify. I'm sorry, sweetie. Not all. Some talk too much. There's a balance. So I don't want to make a rational general saying that all, but the majority of men do not properly communicate with their spouses, much less tell them how they feel, what they're going through. So they kind of keep it bottled up. That's why we stroke out all the time. That's fact.
Because you hold on to emotions.
Men die early, heart attacks and strokes. Most of that is related to not releasing. So since you do not release, you keep it in, and therefore we have strokes and heart attacks, which is stress related because we don't release.
Right.
You have to release.
That's good.
Women live longer because they release. They tell you exactly how they feel. You are dumb, bleep, 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 bleep. I love whatever it is, they're gonna tell you. Whereas men, we hold it in. So guess what? We hold it in, die young. Please stop doing that. Just my point, just my 2 cents. Holding it in will not change anything.
Right. And that's why we cry together.
So, number one, I gotta love you openly. Number two, I gotta communicate truth.
Right.
Stop holding it in.
Right.
If you're gonna man up, say what you feel and mean what you say and say what you mean. Stop being ambiguous. Stop being great. Be straight. Speak the truth.
Stop
in
trying
love.
to avoid conflict.
Yes. Number 3, manning up. Seek help. Seek help.
You know what? This doesn't have to be so formal like most people think that it has to be. It doesn't have to be you making an appointment and going seeing a psychologist. Sometimes it takes that, but sometimes it's just surrounding yourself with other godly couples going in the direction you want to go in, holding you accountable to the things that you should be doing as it pertains to God and growth in your marriage. Some of us, that's all we need is to create cultivate a community of, godly marriages around us and, people going in the direction that you want to go. So it doesn't have to be.
Correct. You have to be willing to get help.
Right.
Too many of us think we're just supposed to suffer in silence. It does not have to be that way.
And, women are really good about getting advice. Just make sure you're getting advice from a good source. And ladies, we know what a good source is and what's not a good source, because the friend that's going to tell you what you want to hear versus the friend that's going to tell you what you need to hear.
Okay, let me help my brothers out. You got your car you love. The car is making some noises. It's driving rough. Your steering wheel's not straight, but you're driving straight. What do you do to that car? Do you keep on riding it?
Come on.
Or do you go take it to somebody to look at it? That's all I'm saying, bro.
Good.
You would do it for your car, but you won't do it for your marriage.
Ooh.
If you have a foot issue and you can't walk, you're going to go to have somebody work on that foot.
Right.
If you have teeth pain, oh my gosh, you have a problem with your mouth. OMG. Are you going to say it's just going to get better? I remember.
I'm just going to ignore it.
I was in Germany and my wisdom tooth got impacted. It came out. I could not close my mouth to chew. They had to give me smoothies. How quickly did I want that tooth out my mouth? I wanted that thing out my mouth yesterday. So tell me, if you have an issue in your marriage, why wouldn't you want that thing fixed yesterday? It's not going to get better pretending like it don't exist. No, we got to fix this.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So if you want to fix your teeth or tooth, you want to fix your car,
right,
you want to fix your house.
Right.
Listen, we had a big storm. That back window, the window has an issue, and the rain was coming in. I'm talking about it looked like a monsoon in the back room.
Right.
Water was coming in. I got a question. How long do you think it took me to have somebody come look at that window when the water was coming in? Immediately. How you gonna have your marriage? Water flooding in. The shit's going down. And
right.
You talking about we gonna be all right.
Right.
You would. I'm about to say something. Right. You crazy. It's not gonna be all right.
We need to seek God. We don't need to seek other people.
Come on, what you do?
But the thing is when, like Pastor Jomo, what Jomo just said, if your tooth is, hurting, if your house is flooding,
you're gonna do something.
See a professional. You wouldn't go ask your neighbor to go pull your tooth.
Listen.
You would go see a professional.
I need the best doctor in my mouth.
You would be like, you know what? Let's just pray about this.
I'm gonna talk to my boy down the street. Are you crazy? You wouldn't have your boy take your tooth out. I'm gonna get a monkey wrench and take your tooth. Are you crazy? No, I just don't understand. Your marriage is the most important relationship. The number one ingredient in wealth is marriage. The number one ingredient in bankruptcy is marriage. So this is the most important decision of your life. You can't play with this thing.
Right.
All right. Next one. Okay, sweetie.
You want to be on?
Sure, baby. If you want to get off, get off. Don't be afraid to show emotion, even tears. There's so many men who cry outside of the presence of their family and children, feeling that is a feminine experience. My Bible says Jesus wept. If Jesus wept, I think it's all right for us to cry every now and then. Right. I remember we were at Red Lobster for dinner one night. I don't know what brought it up, but I was thinking about my mother, and I just started crying. And my son looked at me. He started crying too. And he says, "Dad, I miss Grandma too." And we both had a moment.
Yeah.
And
it's so healthy to see, your dad cry and then it be okay for you to cry. I think
we did it not too long ago at a restaurant. We went out and it was just us, me and the kids. And Jemiah was having a bad episode. And Jomo started crying. I said, "Man, you all right, man?" I said, "Man, it's just Jemiah." Then I started crying with him. And just a struggle, And it's healthy for us to show young men that it's all right. Because here's the problem. If we keep modeling bad behavior, this will never get fixed.
Right.
And we'll continue this cycle. And the problem is we're telling men to man up, but we're giving them the wrong definition of what manning up is.
Right. Right.
So now I'll never fulfill what I don't define. If I don't clarify what it means to be a man, how can I be what I don't know? And how can I become what I've never seen?
That's good.
So therefore, I will never manifest the totality of what a man is supposed to be, because I don't know. I got the wrong image. I got the wrong people telling me what a man is, and I've never seen a true man.
Right. Right. And just being affectionate and hugging your sons and, giving them a lot of times when our children do things that are good, we don't acknowledge the good, but we're quick to correct the bad. So what I do with my boys is whenever they do something that I would appreciate, them doing as a husband, I say, your wife is going to love when she comes home from work and you are doing this for her. Or, when you get married, you should do this for your wife. She's really going to love it because you're going to be a great husband. I speak that into my sons because I want them to know the good behavior as well as correct the bad.
Yeah.
So just be mindful, even when you're in a relationship and your husband does a wonderful thing, a lot of times we say, oh, that's what he should have done, or that's what was expected, but we don't praise them or thank them for it because we think that's what they were supposed to do. But no, you should say what you like and praise them for the good things, because if you're only acknowledging the negative, they're going to think that they're not doing anything right. So, yeah.
Well, I have about 7 more points. I'm going to hold them to next week, and we're going to finish up Manning Up part 2. I pray you guys have a wonderful night. God bless you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Remember, there's love,
laugh, and learn.
Have a wonderful evening.
God bless
Love your night. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Bye-bye, everybody.